What's going on, guys? All right, so we finally retested pi, and I gotta love just the valuation comments. The same valuation garbage that people were talking about at 19,000, 20,000 is irrelevant now, down at 6,000. I mean, guys, whether Bitcoin on a valuation metric should be worth 100,000 or 300,000. It doesn't matter when you ignore time and space. Anytime you just having that opinion on valuation up at 19, 18,000 didn't help you make a decision. It doesn't help you make a decision now. So I'm going to do a write-up on this later. There's lots of different things we can think about when you want to talk about value in cryptocurrency. But at the end of the day, valuation should be 10% of your whole, 10% of your decision-making process. Anytime you make a trade, the time component, the price, and cyclical component matters. Is what, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. And how you work your position, how you manage your risk. So I just want to talk about what happens after these pullbacks. I mean, I've said it again and again and again and again. When you break the bands, the risk is you go to the 200 and or all the way back to pi. Now I have people saying, it's this level that's going to hold, or it's this level or that level. Guys, the levels don't matter. Just because you come down and you bounce for one day and then make a new low, that's the only thing that's going to turn this trend back bullish. Is you got to start making higher highs. You got to start doing this and then break to a new higher high, something like that. So just because we've gone from the cycle high to back to pi, this is about the cycle. This is about time. There's X amount of time that's gone by. And the way you want to trade pi, I mean, what's frustrating is that the bigger players and the small amount of pros that are in the space have a lot of, obviously, all the capital, and they're the ones that are short futures and can play the ledger X with the puts, etc. Those are pushing everybody around that's not able to short this market. And so it's a lot of in, out, nibble, back to the sidelines. But when we break the bands and then you do cycle back to pi, it's not, hey, load up at the level. That's not the point, guys. The reason this held is not because everybody has it on their chart. Unless you know me or my work, nobody has that pi line. The reason it holds is it's because it's a timing phenomenon. It has nothing to do with level specific. I mean, it holds pretty much exactly a lot of times, but it's not about a level, okay? It's about an area, and it's about time. So now that we've gotten here, a couple things can happen. We can violently rip off the low. That's unlikely in a V bottom. We can go sideways, or we just go right through it. So you can cycle back to pi. It doesn't mean that it has to stop there. You can cycle back to it and then cycle a full another pi cycle back away from it. So there's no hurry to be getting long down here. And the only thing that's going to start to turn this back up is you got to get back above the 8. And then, like I said, you got to start making, you got the bands all the way up here at 11, 12,000. So if you want to nibble, that's fine, but there should be no rush to be getting long here. You can't just, can't look at 4 candles off the low here and say, well, that was it. I mean, there's a lot of day left. Yeah, it's a bottoming tail. First, it would be nice to take out the high tomorrow. The prior candle's high is up here at 8,255. So bottoming is a process. Just like topping up here was a process. It wasn't one candle V top collapse. We retested it 3 times that same level before we backed off of it. All right, so anyway, that just is what it is, and everything else can probably still retest. Litecoin could retest. Pi. Here we are at the bands. The weekly's still coming down. It's definitely getting pretty low. So this is the right area to hold for sure. I expect this to hold, and it just might, it might be a couple more weeks down here. The monthly level, if we can't hold Pi, then probably going to see a drop to 2,500, 2,800. Bands are down here, so that's that'd be pretty much a complete 80% retrace of this move. So, same thing on Litecoin, right here at the 8. The weekly cycle. Weekly cycles come down a lot. The bands are down around 75, 80. And the 100 was the prior high, so I'm not surprised that the market's finding support there. But again, it's just a process. Nothing but lower highs. Even when you do bounce, it's just a bounce to a lower high. So we'll know when we start to turn the corner on the intermediate term. That's the time to get more aggressive, not trying to bottom pick. And same thing on Ethereum. Ethereum broke the bands. Pi is much deeper, closer to that 400 level. Ethereum is definitely in no man's land. You do have some bottoming tails, but it's just still needs to see a lot of follow through. I cut my risk when we broke this 700, 750 area. Just gonna wait. I don't want to sit through a drawdown to 300. I'll try to do some more, guys. I got to do a live session with the Forex group. So I just wanted to give a quick update.